I'll call upon someone who is an industry expert out here, calling upon someone who is responsible for design and execution, for overarching the business strategy of the company and has been associated with CAMP since 2022. A proven business leader with over 25 years of experience and expertise of Pan-India. He has expertise in driving digital transformation, establishing best practices, and of course, building institutional capability across area of portfolio health, delinquency management, cost rationalization, and profitability growth. Can we have a hugest round of applause for Tejinder Singh, CEO CAMPS FinServe? A huge round of applause for him, everyone. Along with Manoj Agarwal, Group Editor, Banking Frontiers, we are really looking forward for an absolutely fiery, vibrant, and a passionate chat out here.
The topic today is loan against a new kind of asset, a financial asset that is growing wildly in terms of numbers, in terms of customer acceptance, in terms of the returns that it gives to investors, in terms of the value creation for savers, and something that is a global phenomenon. And that asset class, most of you would have guessed, is mutual funds. Now, loan against mutual funds is not something very common. Loan against gold has been there for ages, loan against property has been there, loan against other products, financial and non-financial products. So me and Tejinder are going to talk about loan against against mutual funds. So Tejinder, to begin with, what is the size of these different loan segments?
Yeah.
And the asset sizes and the loan segments, so that we get a kind of an overview.
Sure. Thank you, Manoj, for first of all having me here. And as Anuj said, you are one of the two people holding audience from food. I have to make it a little more interesting for you to get a sense. So let's look at the Indian market overall. Indian market, RBI publishes monthly report of how much lending is happening. So if you look at May numbers, total lending to individual segment is about 42 lakh crore. Out of those 42 lakh crore, home loan contributes a large proportion, which is about 20 lakh crore. Then there's the 5 lakh crore of car loans. Unsecured loan, which is a large growing segment, is now already around 12 lakh crore. Credit cards, again, you have an outstanding book of nearly about 2.5 lakh crore. So what we see is these are segments which have been there and also growing as India grows. But interestingly, mutual fund, loan against mutual fund is only about 7,000 crore. When you have, a product like gold loan, an asset of last resort for any citizen, in that itself, I'll give you some shocking statistics so much. So if you see, India has, by some estimates, close to about 27,000 tons of gold in this country. And out of that, 5,000 tons is already pledged, either pawnbroker or with the NBFC or with the bank, which means close to about 18-20% of asset of last resort physically moved out of its vault or a locker, went to a pawn shop and got pledged. And Indian, which is market, they are typical things. We are under-invested, under-insured, perennially starved for loans. We are always, as a country, we are debt-starved. Why are we looking into this situation that gold is getting pledged and a mutual fund book? If we see the number of mutual fund AUM in the country today, at the end of May, it was 58 lakh crore. The way market is growing, it would have already crossed 60 lakh crore. Against that asset pool of 60 lakh crore, why is only 7,000 crore of lending has happened on mutual fund? The problem statement, if we define it this way, and then we try and address, was the model physical or digital? And what is the distribution play in this? So LAMF being a thin margin product, a secured, is pegged typically against home loans, where you charge 10%, 10 and 11%. LMF also is about 10%. When you have a 10% kind of product, the distribution margin available to you is only about 0.5%. And doing a 0.5% lending product on a small ticket size is virtually non-profitable for any channel in the physical world. You bring in digital world into this and you do an end-to-end digital journey, you can make a segment available to Indian citizen where they can, without having to redeem their funds. Again, a very critical statistics. Indians redeem 50% of their mutual fund holdings in the first year. 70% gets redeemed in second year. So whether redemption is the right way or keeping your funds invested for long haul and taking loan against it is the right way. So what we believe as an account aggregator, we are just sitting at a seminal moment. It's going to be a disruption where FIUs, entities who want to be a participant in this space, can get citizens to share their holdings data seamlessly, basis consent. Once the consent is available, the lenders can show to the citizen on a daily basis, boss, you are eligible for, if you have, let's say, holding of 20 lakh rupees, for today's valuation, you are eligible for 10 lakh rupee. And as the valuation changes on a daily basis, because there is a recurring data which comes to you, the lender will always be in a position to provide to the citizen a pre-approved amount. An amount that citizen can click and take. That was the game changer which India saw on the unsecured side. Right. You know, when bankers move from pre-qualified to pre-approved, you will receive SMSs, boss, you are pre-approved for 50,000 loan and people will avail it. Now, this pre-approval thing against mutual fund is possible, basis consent, and in a real-time scenario. That's why we definitely believe this is going to be a disruptor. And you take any percentages. I'm not talking even gold loan. You said, compared to gold loan. Gold loan, we are sitting at 15-20% of penetration. 60 lakh crore of mutual fund book. Even if you assume 50% of his retail lending, 50% is out of that is possible for, you can leverage out 15 lakh crore. Even if we convert 10-15% of that, the quantum jump of this 7,000 crore of outstanding mutual fund book can be at least 2 to 3 lakh crore in the next maybe few months, quarters and years, depending on at how fast pace people build their digital journeys. And I'm very happy to share that, sir, we have a number of clients who are already into different stages of building these journeys, digital journeys, which can be the disruptive journey for this product to take off.
So this sounds like it is potentially the fastest growing, fastest potential growth for any loan product.
Rightly so, and more importantly, if you see from regulators' perspective, it is also a secured asset.
Secured loan. Okay, that makes it.
It makes even economy even more resilient. You are not lending unsecured money; you are lending against a secured asset. Yeah. I am sure regulator will also find it, appropriate product to be done. It is not taken off because of physical constraints, but with the way UPI revolutionized digital journeys for India and taught even the rural guy can, make a digital payment. We are looking at that seminal moment of digital lending through LMF.
So can you quickly touch upon the role of account aggregator and how much of this process can be end-to-end digital?
Yeah, so it's a great question. Actually, account aggregator is a word which means that this is an entity which is playing the role of a consent manager. Account aggregator is a NBFC AA license holder from RBI. There are about 18 of us in the marketplace and about 14 with the operational licenses as well. Now, these account aggregator create journeys where citizen can give consent for transmission of their data from a FIP, which holds the data, to an FIU, which seeks the data. Now, in financial information, user is typically a bank or an NBFC or RIA who needs citizen data. For them to get the data and then do any kind of sales or any kind of pitching or solutioning, let's say lending, the requirement is that the data can move digitally from FIP to FIU. The AA comes as a intermediary layer to document the consent and provide a time stamp of on which date, on what time, for which purpose citizen has given the approval for transferring his data from FIP to FIU. That's a role we play.
Which means that as a customer, if I want a loan, I can quickly get a response from 5, 10, 15 different FIUs from lenders, correct? Is that right?
There are the possibilities of platforms being created where RBIH is creating a platform. Then OKIN is also creating a platform where multiple account aggregators, FIUs and FIPs are available on the same platform. Right now, these are individual journeys with each of the FIU and the citizen. So in case citizen want to apply for a loan, or for instance, the thought here is, many of us want to see how much is my holding. So we go to applications, provide the details of mutual funds and equities, and it's a moment of joy, or maybe every day we will check it. Okay, this is my holding is. Very static screen. Can I convert that static screen or application into a more active, engaging, showing you have let's say 20 lakh of mutual fund and 30 lakh of equity. Against those 20 lakh, you are eligible for a 10 lakh mutual fund loan now, and against 30 lakh equity, you are eligible for X amount of. And we have seen in the past, the moment the lending proposition becomes pre-approved, and it is not a qualified. We used to have pre-qualified lending in this country. The takeoff becomes 10x. Comparison between a pre-qualified and pre-approved is nearly 10x. So the same PFM use case, we call it personal finance management use case of account aggregator, can become a entry point for a lending journey of loan against mutual fund.
Okay. How do you see gold loans versus, which are very popular and growing, versus the potential for loan against a mutual fund?
Oh, I mean, see, that's something which I've spent a lot of years in my career on the gold loan side. A large proportion of Indian lending on gold loan is through a pawnbroker. Some estimates say about 85%. Now, the first thing, that asset of last resort that citizen never want to part, what happens is, it gets downsized. You thought you bought 22 carat, the broker will say it is 20 carat. Each carat downsizing is about 5%, hit that haircut you are taking on your lending amount. Whereas in mutual fund lending, there's no haircut involved. It's regulators.
24 carats mutual fund.
It's absolutely. It's as good as the valuation till yesterday, and as per the regulatory requirement, you can give up to that level, and that's the beauty is. So it's more beneficial to citizen. It's easier for citizen to take it, and it is the product whose time is nearly come now for it to take off.
That's interesting. I think there's been a lot of conservativeness in the Indian savers about being attracted to property and gold. And because of that, and because of the lack of financial know-how, knowledge, they're not able to invest in equities or mutual funds or other financial products.
Brilliant point, sir. In fact, imagine just a 35-year-old individual in India who is a taker for unsecured loan. Somebody who's, let's say, putting in 50,000 rupees every year is saving. He's built up a portfolio of, let's say, 5 lakh rupees over 5-10 years. Now, he is looking for a home purchase, and he wants to make a down payment. Typically, they would either sell off their holdings, liquidate their investments, make a down payment, and go for home loan.
Right.
Whereas, you can, against the same collateral, take a loan against mutual fund, use and continue to ride the growth of Indian story of the way your investments are growing, and it's a win-win.
So, loan against mutual fund sahi hai.
Absolutely, undoubtedly sahi hai. Uska time yahi hai.
Time yahi hai. On that note, thank you so much, Tejinder. Thank you very much.